Look, I know that you don't want to hear this, but I know that you will never become successful in your entire life at all. See, the reason to this is because you always switch from thing to thing. Your brain is completely dependent on dopamine. You will never become successful because your brain depends on dopamine. Now, all of us, of course, depend on dopamine, but your brain wants quick dopamine. It can't just stay focused on one thing at all. You can't stay focused and working and doing one thing because it gets too hard for you. You get too lazy, or your brain gets too lazy to do it. Your emotions control you, and you get too lazy to do it. Oh, I don't want to do it. It's way too hard, and you can't stay on one thing for a long period of time. You just have to switch between different things. See, that's probably you right now. I know that you don't want to hear this, and the people who got scared clicked off, but for the people who stayed, good, because you don't want to hear this. Your brain is freaking out right now because this has been your entire belief, your entire life, but you will not become successful like this. You will not become successful by switching from business model to business model, different things. See, look, you aren't successful right now because you're switching from different things and you're not actually obsessing about one thing. You haven't found that thing that's actually purposeful to you. You need to find one thing that's purposeful to you, and the thing that you obsess over a period of a couple of months or even maybe years. I don't know, but you have to find that purposeful thing, because if you don't obsess over anything, you will not become successful. If you just lightly do it and you don't think about it 24/7, you will not become successful. Look, men who are successful think about one thing when they're shitting on the toilet. They think about that one thing that they're obsessing over, and that's how they get successful. They put in 10,000 hours into that thing, and then they also think about it 24/7. They think about basically nothing else but that one thing that they're obsessing over. That's how they get so successful. You need to have 3 things in your life, and that's it. Only 3 things that are important to you, one of them being the most important, because that's how you actually get successful. You obsess over things, like a tiny amount of things, over 3 things, and you put your whole energy and life into them, and you get successful in at least one of them. That's how it will work. If you put a lot of time into the thing that you're obsessing over, you will become successful. There's no other option. You just will get successful if you actually put the time into it, become present, and you actually do it. But look, I know that you're going to skip to the next video. You're not going to try to find your purpose because you're a little pussy. You're not going to get successful. I know that you won't. I know that you're going to go to the next video. You're just going to waste your entire day. But for the people who are actually want to get successful, you have to do this to find your purpose. Go to your wall, and just sit at your wall and journal. Just write about what you think you might obsess over. And write down like 1 to 3 things. And like, you have to really think about this for like maybe days, maybe hours. I don't care, but like, you have to sit and think about things that you actually want to obsess over. Your inside soul obsesses over. That's really important. It can't be an external source that told you to do it. It has to be your own self, your own beliefs, and you have to write down what you obsess over. Once you have those like 1 to 3 things down, you have to execute a plan on how you want to do it, and you have to focus on that thing until it gets extremely painful, until you tried it for like a couple of months. If you've made 0 progress in a couple of months of doing it, that means you're probably not doing it hard enough, which you'll realize if you aren't doing it hard enough, or it's just not for you, so you should stop and find that next thing. But if you aren't willing to put in at least a couple of months of work, of just hard grinding into that thing, you will not get successful. And that's why a lot of people quit. That's why a lot of people don't get successful, because they want the quick dopamine. They're not willing to sacrifice that time and energy to actually get successful. People don't realize that you need sacrifice to get successful. All successful individuals have sacrificed many things. They've made so many sacrifices, and that's how they became successful. They sacrificed their time to meditate, to be present, and to be able to accomplish those things, to be able to go into a flow state. They researched, they obsessed, they realized what their purpose and mission is. And then they also just put in that time. They're willing to put in that time. Look, you have to realize that obsession creates success. If you're not obsessing over anything, you will not become successful. If you don't think about that thing when you're on the toilet, you will not be successful, because if you really want to get successful, if you're really desiring success, you will be thinking about that on the toilet. Trust me. If you want success, you'll be thinking about it on the toilet. That'll be one of the only things you'll be thinking about because of how much you want that success. There will be a burning desire and you will want it with your entire soul and heart. That's what purpose is. That's how you know that you found your purpose, because you'll be obsessing over it the entire time. If that's not happening to you, you're doing something wrong. And you have to find your purpose and obsession. Put in that time, meditate, be present, journal, find your purpose, and obsess over it. Because obsession creates success. Without obsession, there won't be success. You have to realize that and change your beliefs. That's how you actually become successful. I know that you probably won't do this and you'll click off, go to the next video. But look, the people who actually do this, the people who find their purpose, the people who will put in time into that thing, into their purpose that they want to do, into that activity that they want to do, they will be so much ahead of you. I will be ahead of you. Think about it. I will be so much ahead of you in 5 years. And then in 5 years, you'll only realize that you'll have to do something. I will be so much ahead of you. The people who actually do this will be so far ahead of you. And you'll be sad and depressed while we're enjoying our success. So you don't want that, right? You probably want to execute this right now. So stop watching this video, click off, and go take some action immediately. I hope I shared some knowledge in this video. Comment your philosophies down below, and I'd like to hear some of your thoughts. And I hope this video helps you, bro. Subscribe if you want, and go get off YouTube.